Today, Red Octane announced their new game at IGN's FanFest, and I'm going to give you the highlights and lowlights of the event. For the full announcement, please see a link to the Steam page, a blog post, as well as the trailer of the announcement. Before going into this video, I want to give a disclaimer. For those unaware, I've done some work for the rhythm company TRC, who are also actively developing a new rhythm game. However, everything in this video is my own opinion. I'm acting as Addy Mills, not on behalf of TRC. I also don't view TRC and Red Octane games as zero-sum competitors. Rather, I see them as two ships on the same ocean. If one game succeeds, it helps thrust the entire rhythm game genre forward, like a rising tide lifts all ships kind of situation. I'm not here to pick sides, I just want more great rhythm games. I'm very excited and critical as a fan of rhythm games as a whole. The rest of this video will be covering the announcement and the subsequent Steam page and blog posts that were made public. First, showing what we learned from it, then I will go over some questions that I thought of, then I'm going to be doing a frame-by-frame and word-by-word analysis of the video as well as the blog post and Steam store page, and finally, I'm going to give my overall opinion of the announcement. Now, let's talk about what we learned. First, another new guitar will be released, the Red Kramer. It's also confirmed on the blog that this will be a bundle with the game. 2. Terminator Oscillator by Static X will be in the game, as that is the song being showcased in the trailer. 3. The game will have characters in the background. The look they're going for showcase the characters having bigger heads and smaller bodies, and the avatars will be miming along similar to Guitar Hero or Rock Band. 4. The game will have a 5-fret mode like Guitar Hero, Clone Hero, or Rock Band. The note style appears to be a mixture of Guitar Hero's circle notes and Rock Band's square notes, leading to a rounded square look. The standard multiplier appears to be 4x, and notes appear to have a base score of 50. At this part of the trailer, 2 note chords get hit, and 400 points are added to the total score. This implies 200 points per note at a 4x multiplier, hence 50 notes base score. 5. The game will have pre-made characters as per the Steam page. 6. The playable parts are lead, groove, drums, and vocals. Lead appears to be Fortnite Festival style, where this part can play guitar or synth, as the example in the trailer shows both guitar and synth being played. And lastly, there appears to be some sort of progression system, as the Steam page mentions unlocking rewards and exclusive content. As for some questions that came up while I was watching it, the first is, does the groove instrument imply that there may be multiple instruments that can be charted to it, or is this simply the bass part with a fancy name? Second, no confirmation of open notes. The 6th playable note of 5-fret rhythm game was absent from the trailer, but they've become a staple of the series through Guitar Hero and Clone Hero, but there's no mention of them yet. 3. Is there an option to make your own character? Currently, it's been announced that pre-made characters are in the game, but no mention of custom characters yet. And lastly, are there separate audible parts or custom mixes in the game? The trailer doesn't show what happens when you miss a note, and Terminator Oscillator fades out in the trailer just like the version available on Spotify or Apple Music. But let me know in the comments if there's anything you saw in the trailer or blog post that you'd like to get answered. Now, here's where I may be overanalyzing just a little bit, but that is what I do around here. As a way to potentially discover more about the game, I've gone through the video frame by frame as well as read the Steam store page and the blog post in depth, and I would like to present you some analysis and hypotheses about this game. Please keep in mind that this section is pure speculation based on what I saw in the trailer as well as how things are worded. What I found through my analysis is that 1. Other than the drummer, animations may be a mixture of animation loops and scripted animations. For most of what's visible, the animations appear looped. Possible examples of scripted animations, however, are, at 32 seconds, the camera pans down and zooms in on the singer who points when the lyrics say "Go!" in sync to the music. And at 36 seconds, the guitarist at stage right moves from the back to the front before going back into its looped animation state. 2. The drummer appears to be animated depending on what's being played. I assume something similar to how Rock Band or Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock does it is happening in the MIDI. 3. The game lets you know when your part is done playing by no longer drawing beat lines. At 51 seconds, you can see the groove part ending, and the game no longer draws any lines while the lead part continues. This coincides with the ending of the song, where the bass line ends before the synth does. 4. The phrase permanent bragging rights may imply that some unlockable rewards are unique or time-based, meaning that some rewards may not be achievable after a certain time has passed. Now, as for my opinion of the announcement, I have to be honest, guys, with the way this showcase was hyped up, I walked away feeling a little bit underwhelmed. I don't think what we saw was bad. It just felt earlier, rougher, and shorter than what I was expecting for a reveal of this scale. Starting with something positive, I felt the direction of the visuals were decent. The character style appears to be displaying its own identity instead of copying Guitar Hero or Rock Band, and I think that's a good thing long term. It's something I could get used to. Where I felt things fell a little bit flat was the polish, especially in some of the background animations. In a few shots, things like headbanging didn't seem fully in sync with the music. This could absolutely be how the trailer was edited, but it stood out enough for me to notice multiple times in the 30 seconds of gameplay. The bigger concern I felt needed to be mentioned is on the hardware side. The first half of the trailer focused on the new Kramer guitar, and while new hardware is always interesting, there is now another addition to an already growing lineup from Cracked, as there is already an SG model and 3 existing Les Paul models. Given that there have already been some reported input issues with current guitars, I would have preferred to see those issues get refined before introducing yet another model. I'm cautious about it, but I don't think it's a deal breaker just yet. While the overall feel was pretty rough for me, I am in a way optimistic. After all, Rock Band 4's very first reveal was very rough, with its unpolished matte notes and choppy backgrounds. They ended up smoothing it out by the time the game was released. I think where my expectations came from is that this is one of the first major new entries in 5-fret rhythm gaming space in a long time. Because of that, I was hoping that the first impression would feel a little bit more polished. But this is just the first look after all. Now that it's out there, I'm very interested to see where it's going to evolve from here.